Hey guys, this is Adam Carswell of the Next Level Mastermind. And stop! You are about to hear a strange but true story. Actually, the strange but true thing that I want to share with you was one of my key takeaways, probably the number one takeaway from 2 Comma Club Live today, and that is the power of the word stop. The word stop, whether it's in a title or as you guys just saw in the beginning of this video, is such a powerful word for catching the attention of those you are engaging with. And it's also, some might argue, this was, by the way, this is from a guy named Prince EA. I'll put a link or something so you can go check this guy out. He spoke today, and the cool thing about his message was he erased the concept, I know from, at least from my mind now, of the word clickbait, because he's, as you can see, really good at coaching people on how to grab the attention of his viewers. But he's like, I will never call it clickbait. And you know why? That's because I know the messages that I'm delivering are food, meaning he's delivering click food. There's more to the message than just the bait, than just the hook. Like, there's actually something valuable that comes with it. So there's no such thing as clickbait anymore, guys. It's called click food. And this is some click food for you. Another shout out to the Next Level Mastermind. The title of your video or content is more important than the content itself. Again, because that's the click food. Some people are like, "Oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do in this video." He's like, "It doesn't, like, the most important thing when you're putting together content is figure out your title first. If you just focus on title creation, title creation, title creation, title creation, you'll figure out the video as you go instead of trying to do it the other way around, which is like, I would say, a big epiphany for me too, because a lot of times I never think about the title in advance. Even to this point now, I just realized I didn't think of a title for this video, so this is going to push me to do that in the future and be more effective. As of right now, the title of this video is going to be a recap of day 3, but maybe we can get something more compelling than that. So anyways, guys, just remember that. Write that down. Another really cool takeaway, and this one is, you go to like conferences and stuff like this, and these ideas that you've heard or concepts that you've heard before, they'll resurface themselves in like the most subtle way. Like, the beginning of today's conference, Russell Brunson kicked it off by talking about Star Wars and the hero's journey and the journey of the hero. There's a book, Hero with a Thousand Faces, written by Joseph Campbell, which I've done a book review on before. Go ahead and look that up. Russell Brunson talks about it all the time. And he talks about how George Lucas, who wrote Star Wars, modeled Star Wars after Joseph Campbell's Hero with a Thousand Faces, and just the breaking down of the traditional hero story that we always see. Now that's another direction that we could go with this video, but I'm going to just direct everyone to just go look it up on your own. A Hero with a Thousand Faces, Joseph Campbell, and just get an understanding of the hero's journey, because it's really cool. What I remembered though was when I was at Funnel Hacking Live, Russell Brunson told another story about Star Wars and the power of Star Wars' legacy. And I think a lot of us, sometimes we get confused, because guess what? When the first Star Wars movie came out, the very first one, it didn't like blow up the box office, for example, the weekend that it came out. I'm sure it performed well. I don't know the exact stats, but there was a few other movies that came out the weekend that Star Wars did that did better than Star Wars. What's the name of that movie? I don't know. And most people don't know. The reason why Star Wars is what it is because it was consistent production by George Lucas and his team year after year after year after year. Now, when you compare Star Wars to the movie that beat it on opening weekend, it's not even close. So the power of consistency and legacy, you don't have to hit a home run every time. In fact, sometimes it might even be better for you if you don't hit a home run every time. So that story came back to me today because Russell was talking about Star Wars in a different manner. Another major takeaway, and just thinking about how some things resurface themselves, a guy named Myron Golden, I hope I got Myron Golden or Myron Gordon, spoke on Monday, and then he spoke today as well. And I had to share this. This was from his speech on Monday, but he talks about and I talked to my friend Poppy Seed, John Colwell, about this. He talks about the 4 levels of value and how out of the 4 levels of value, the people who are performing at the highest level around the world are the ones who are operating on the third and fourth level. The first level is implementation. The second level is management. So like implementation, you're using your feet, you're working hard, like getting paid by the hour. You're using your muscles to make money. Second level might still be getting paid by the hour, not using your muscles as much. If anything, you're delegating and you're managing people. And a lot of us get stuck in those first 2 levels and never really make it out. And you can still have a successful career and be successful in those levels. But the people who are making the biggest impacts over and over, time and time again in the world, are those who are at the level 3 and 4, which is communication and imagination. At the communication level, I think Myron Golden or Gordon, sorry Myron if you ever see this, I know I'll get your name right after this. He talks about how he sees himself. I recall operating in that, definitely in that third level, because he's communicating, and then every chance he gets operating in that fourth level, which is imagination. And that third level and fourth level also happen to be, time and time again, the individuals who are making the most money in the world. And the person who's operating at the peak of the imagination level that he uses as an example is Steve Jobs. Like, talk about innovation and imagination. Like, that guy was probably, meditating all the time. And so putting ourselves in positions to get better at speaking and communicating and using our imagination more and more and more are so undervalued. We are not commonly taught this. This is something that we have to go out and we have to do and practice and teach on our own, because no one learns how to do it. I can even say, right now, even 2-3 years ago, I wouldn't just press record and just keep talking and not be afraid that I'm going to make a mistake or whatever. Communication just takes time and practice, and you have to focus your energy on it. And you have to realize that you have to, because not a lot of people are going to tell you this. A lot of people are just going to say, go to school, memorize what the teachers give you. Hopefully you pass, and hopefully you get a good job where half the money you make every year goes back to the government. You don't want that. You want to be operating at the highest level possible, because at that level, you're also able to change the most lives, serve the most, and create the most value for yourself, for your circle, and then the people outside of that circle. It's the ripple effect. So I'm looking at the clock here. It's day 3 recap. Might as well push it to the limit, give you guys 10 minutes of value here. One final takeaway that I'd like to share with you would be, what do we got here? Oh, so anyone who's ever done public speaking before, you know what I'm talking about. How often do you get people when you're public speaking, you say, can I get you to raise your hand? How many times have you guys done that? Any public speakers? Anyone who's ever given a speech, raise your hand. Anyways, that was just a personal takeaway I took today. Every single one of these just next level speakers that's like a subliminal hypnotic thing that good public speakers do. If you're not doing this, asking people to raise their hand when you're speaking to them, you should start doing it. I don't know what the psychology behind it is, but I've just noticed it's a repetitive thing that you'll just see with the most successful and the most elite people. So start asking people to raise their hands. Don't be afraid. Even if no one raises their hand, they're going to recognize and acknowledge that you just did that. All right, 8 minutes and 40 seconds, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is a recap of day 3 of 2 Comma Club Live with Russell Brunson. Got to give one final shout out to Jim Morales, Zach Rasinger, Shah Hassan, Fletcher Wheaton, and all my other members in the Next Level Mastermind who pushed me to do the recap. I hope you guys get a ton of value out of this. I hope you share it with your network. I hope something I said today takes you to the next level, and stay plugged in for more content like this, because I have to say, I totally consider myself, if I didn't before, now an official mentee of Russell Brunson and everything this guy is cranking out. I'm what's the word? Regurgitating sounds kind of gross, but I'm taking it back, reprocessing it, and giving it back to you in a curated, refined manner. So do the same. I love you guys. Remember, and all you think, say, and do, take it to the next level. Oh, and I don't know if I said this. Hi, Grandma.